you're actually riding the board, there's such a feeling comes over that you can't really, in my opinion anyway, that unless you get the feeling, you can't explain what the feeling is. You just think, yeah, this is like really good. And then when it all fits together and it all comes together, that's when you really think, yeah, I really like this. And before you know it, there's no turning back. It literally takes over.
In terms of learning it, I mean, it's dead easy. I mean, most people in the UK start off on dry slope unless they're lucky and they can get to real snow. You're talking about, you know, if you've got a good sense of balance, anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, you know, and you're there, you're riding the slopes.
I go up dry slopes probably twice a week, regular. It's really good fun. It's not nice when you fall over, but then again the aim is not to fall over. My local slope is Wickham Summit, and I go up there quite regular, I think sort of like twice a week, sometimes 3. But it's a good crack, but also you go up there because your mates are up there, the bar's up there, have a few drinks and so on, because that's definitely also part of it. There's a lifestyle to it.
Dry slopes, carpet of death. Dry slopes are all very well and good. It's good practice off season because, you know, not everybody can really afford to go abroad all the time. It's expensive to go off on your skiing holiday. So it's a good way to keep your eye in, keep your legs in shape, keep the rest of your body in shape. But it has its offsides as well. You know, there's a lot more injuries on dry slope. Not so much from like avalanches, obviously, but you know, a lot of people think dry slope's a bit boring. So the only thing I can really do is practice my freestyle. And if you're going to be doing freestyle and dry slopes, you want to make sure you land, otherwise it's going to hurt a lot.
Dry slope, I think, plays a large part in snowboarding in the UK. 99% of people that are wanting to learn or have learned have probably learnt on dry slope, but very few of them have been away and spent a long time on snow. It's a slightly different culture than snow. Obviously, it's not exactly the same as snow, but you get people in every week. You know, 2 or 3 times a week, people will come to the slope to ride and enjoy themselves. You know, and everyone there will know each other. Even if strangers come along, it's, you know, everyone's welcome.
So it's a good way to learn because if you pay for a holiday to go abroad onto snow, you don't really want to get out there and the first thing to be doing is learning, because then you're wasting the first part of your holiday. So the best way to do it is have a few lessons at a dry slope first. There's some good dry slopes in England, and they're also, as far as snowboarding is going, they're really opening up. There's a lot of places now that are realising that the way forward is with snowboarding, especially over the summer months, because a lot more snowboarders tend to ride in the summer than skiers. Skiers see it as a seasonal thing and then they go off and do whatever, tennis in the summer. But then the snowboarders, they're committed. They ride all year round, wherever they can and whatever they can.
It's different when you're on holiday. If you're at your local slope, everyone knows each other. Someone will do maybe go off the ramp, do a trick, and everyone's encouraging them. Even the people who aren't particularly great get encouragement. You know, you get some of the young kids that have got no fear. They don't worry about hitting the matting and hurting themselves. And then you get old people like me, you know, that have got a bit more to lose, that don't want to fall over on the matting and bang their heads and all the rest of it. So we encourage the kids encourage us. It's a very friendly atmosphere.
Wickham Summit is the longest dry slope in England. It's a good slope. I mean, I know I'm biased, but it is a good slope. 300 metre main slope, and there's all sorts of jumps. We've got jumps for all grades of riders, and it's the atmosphere up there on snowboard nights is really nice. A lot of people up there. Everybody really pushing each other to do well.
Okay. I teach on dry slope. I don't do it for money. I do it because I enjoy doing it. I get a lot of satisfaction. I'm not brilliant at doing tricks and stuff. My area where I excel is teaching people. And I enjoy watching people come along that have never snowboarded before, maybe a little bit of skateboarding or done a bit of surfing or skiing or whatever, and they're really fresh and they want to learn, and I enjoy that, so I get a really buzz out of that. And you start off from them knowing absolutely nothing, going through the basics and teaching them week after week after week until they're out there with you, going off the ramps, doing tricks and all that. Anything, I get a real great satisfaction out of that.
My mate sucks. I love.
When you're going on holiday and you're flying to where you're going and you're getting on your transfer bus and you seem to be driving for hours and hours and hours, and then you'll see a little bit of snow and it's, wow, snow, here we go, we're there. And it suddenly dawns on you, you're actually there getting on your holidays, and it can't be long before you're out there on snow, really blasting around the mountain and enjoying yourself. I don't know, it's like Christmas really, Your Christmas has arrived.
Like when we're sat on the coach, you're thinking to yourself, come on, when are we going to get there? Because that's the only trouble with Andorra, the transfer is so long. But like, as soon as you're travelling and you're thinking, come on, but then as soon as you start seeing a bit of snow in the mountains, it just like completely washes over you and it's gone, and you're just thinking, yes, now put your foot down, I just want to get there. You've got no intentions of riding that day, but each time you see a different mountain and you're seeing areas that you can make lines and tracks and thinking to yourself, yeah, just fancy coming off of there, and you know full well that you're never going to go off it, but picking spots and hits that you could do, or you wish you could do, and you're just thinking, I just want to get there and ride. And it's like fantastic.
You're thinking, you're coming up the mountain, you're approaching the snow, and you're thinking, oh yeah, man. You're having a look around, and you're looking at, as you're coming up the mountain, you see the first bits of snow as you're coming up, and you're having a look to see what's the depth, you know, how much snow there is as you're getting further up the mountain. Is there going to be good coverage? Because you never know. You can check on CFAX or whatever, and you can always like, oh yeah, I was out in such and such a resort last week and it was really good snow, all your friends telling you. But you never know until you get there exactly what the snow is going to be like when you get there. So the first sight of the snow when you get there is the most important thing at the beginning of the week. How much snow is there?
First ride on snow, you certainly notice how different it is to dry slope. You have to learn again. It's a whole different learning curve, because again, you spend so long on dry slope, and then when you actually, but all you want to do is ride snow, and then when you actually do go out to snow, you've got to actually start, because you spend so little time on snow, you've actually got to start learning to ride it again. And then by the time you actually have got into it, you're thinking, this is too late, it's nearly up.
God, first ride on snow is, wow, this is so fast compared with dry slope. And is there any fresh powder around? You know, that's your first thought is, you hack around the mountain getting lifts and looking for the powder bowls, you know. Just to enjoy yourself, getting first tracks is a must.
First time you get out on the snow after being on Dendex for such a long time, it takes you a while to get back into it. Your legs are unused to the snow surfaces, it's faster, and although you think you might ride Dendex and think, I'm going fast, until you've been on snow going fast, you don't know about the speed.
Over here.
Hey,
Bother. Put it there, mate. That was shite, the old car. I was so pissed off that out climbing up there, and I really wanted to ride that down. Well, at least I managed 10 feet. Oh, no, look. That was thankfully.
How's your knee?
I'm not a very good person to ask about maintenance because, as the others will tell you, I don't maintain my boards very well. In fact, my old Burton Brushy, if you look on my living room wall, it is a wreck. But, you know, it's got to be done. Otherwise you're going to spend a hell of a lot more either trying to get it back to the way it was by having it base ground, or ending up buying another board. You've got to wax it, keep your edges sharp, keep all the nuts tightened up on your bindings. Important to do it.
Basically, you need to wax your board. It increases speed, it reduces the friction on the snow, and it does make you go faster. You got different temperature waxes, depending on whether it's cold snow, warm snow, whatever. So you get your wax, you get your iron, you melt your wax onto the board, and then you iron it. Ideally, not your mum's iron that you'd use to iron the shirt. Otherwise you get a good kick in. But yeah, just wax it into the board, let it cool down, and then give it a good scrape off. The edges just, ideally you need to file them up and get them so they're nice and sharp. The outer ones detune, but get them so they're nice and sharp. And according to Snowboard Clinic, the ideal way is scrape the nail across it and see if it takes it off. Get sharp edges, and it makes your grip easier, go from edge to edge, and carve a lot faster. Better, holds an edge better. Certainly, like for board prep, if you're going to go away and you're not really totally into doing the board yourself, the best thing you could do is send it up to Snowboard Clinic, because they're really full on and they know exactly what they're doing, and they are very good. But it's their trade, so. And then you haven't got to do anything. Then just ride. Your board comes back, and you just ride it, and away you go.
You've got to look after your boards. You've got to wax your board. If your board's not waxed, your edges aren't sharp, then it'll still slide. But a lot of the time, especially if you get a bit of ice, then you're not going to enjoy it as much. It's all part of snowboarding, really. You know, looking after your board. It doesn't take long to wax an edge of board. Trust me. Half an hour and you're out partying. Every night's party night.
Your technique for snow is a lot different from your technique for Dendex. When you turn on snow, as you're pushing the edge of the board in, it's pushing snow away from you. But also, that, as well as that snow going away from you, it's also banking up underneath you, so you've got something to push against. Whereas on Dendex, as you're turning, it's just sort of like fibres flicking away underneath you. So it's like a lot of a different technique. And it does take a while just to get your legs back into it all, sliding around, going faster, but it's worth it. It'll probably take you about a day to get your legs back. The second day you won't be brilliant again, but you'll be at a better standard. And then by the end of the week, you'll be well back on form, you'll be flying, everything will be coming back to you thinking, yeah, why am I ever riding Dendex? I'm never riding Dendex again. Next time I'm going to ride the season for the whole 6 months and it's not going to work at all. And then that's it. By the time you get back into that standard, you've got to go home and ride Dendex again. You've got your piste, which is where most people go, which is the safest area, it's all patrolled. Piste is like, they have special machinery which packs out the snow, makes it nice and smooth, an even surface. It's nice and easy to ski. Powder is fresh, untouched, virgin snow. It's deep, fluffy, usually, hopefully, depending on where. There's a different technique for riding powder. You want to be leant back on the board, set back maybe, put your bindings a bit further back on the board. Just keep your nose up, 'cause if your nose goes under, you're going to put your face in the snow, like I do.
Powder, riding powder is a total different technique to riding hard pack or pisted. Depending obviously how deep it is and how much there is of it, you set your board up accordingly. In Andorra, they're pretty lucky because they get quite a lot of good snow. There's always quite a bit of powder around. Where we tend to go is just a few powder bowls. They're not particularly long or grueling. You don't need to worry about the setup of your board too much. But you ride powder like you surf. On waves, you're laying back on the board more than anything. You know, if the nose goes under, you do a head plant. You're covered from head to foot in snow.
Yeah, I've heard it's compared to surfing a lot. I've never surfed, so I don't know, but you know, there's all this O'Neill stuff about, hey man, snow is only frozen water. Yeah, a lot of people compare it to surfing. And allegedly the way snowboarding started was people taking the fins off their surfboards and going down on the powder. Sounds like bollocks to me, but could be true.
Sometimes when we're out on the mountain, on snow, we'll build a kicker. A kicker basically is a ramp made out of snow, and they're all different sizes and shapes, and you know, basically just chucking yourself off of them.
A kicker is a man-made jump that you make by packing snow tightly into a jump formation. And you ride it and do all sorts of tricks and land on your ass and hurt yourself. Ah, it's loads of fun. Loads of fun. A lot more fun than den dates, because if you build a kicker on snow, you want to build it in the best possible place where there's lots and lots of soft, fluffy powder for you to land in and not break parts of yourself and make huge craters in the ground. Getting air. Huge buzz. If you do a big jump, pull it clean, land and ride away nicely, it is such an adrenaline rush. Really nice. And then as soon as you've done it, you want to go back and you want to go bigger. And you want to do it again and again and again until you hurt yourself. But then you recover from that and you go back and it starts all over again. You go bigger and bigger and bigger. If you're snowboarding, you expect, and especially if you're doing tricks or jumps or whatever, you expect to have to put your face down in the snow every now and again. Getting white powder on the rush, what it's all about.
Me personally, if I'm trying to do a jump or something and I can't nail it, I keep bombing it out, or not even sort of like bombing it out, just like totally losing it. Then I'll just keep going and going until I overhurt myself, or I do and manage to do it, because I would rather I do it than it get the better of me.
Woo! Yeah.
Dom the freestyler.
Yeah! Woo, woo, woo.
Someone said to me, I'm taking you heliboarding tomorrow. And you think to yourself, God, heliboarding, you've seen it on all the videos with the professionals doing it. You don't know what to expect, you know. People are winding you up, you know. Will you be sick in the helicopter? God, I hope not. You know, what's the snow conditions going to be like? Where are we going? How high are the mountains going to be? You know, is it going to be fresh powder all the way down? Are we going to have to try and hike anywhere? The build up to it is phenomenal. You know, you get up in the morning, you get your gear ready, You know, you've probably spent the last night in bed, you know, sorting your board out, sorting your head out in preparation for this event of a lifetime. You know, you've been picked up, you're taken to where the helicopter picks you up, and it's dead silence.
I was pretty nervous before we went up, partially because of the helicopter ride. Didn't want to do a Sarah Green. And partially because, you know, you never can tell, no matter if you're going off-piste with a proper guide, if you're going that far off-piste, there's always that chance, you know. Anywhere off-piste is dangerous, but if you're with somebody who knows what they're doing, then it's worth the risk. As long as you're either with somebody who knows what they're doing or you know what you're doing yourself. Off-piste, it's claimed quite a few people.
When the helicopter comes, it makes a lot of wind. Be careful for all your equipment, hats, mittens, snowboard especially, skis, sticks, backpacks, all. Try to hold them on the ground, control them, because always all the things that blows away. Yeah? Be real careful with it. Even when we are on the top, be careful with your stuff, hold it down when the helicopter lands or starts. A lot of wind, you know. The snow blows, you don't see anything, go down on the knees, hold your stuff down. That's still the helicopter leaves, and then put on your equipment and we can go.
If I die today, Steve,
There was a pub at the top.
then I'll have you to thank. Just send a cheque to the wife, alright?
It's going to be good. It's going to be really good, but it's first time for everything, and you're like, you get a bit worried, don't you? Nothing to be worried about, but it's only natural.
Apprehensive.
The one there as well.
Very apprehensive.
Tad nervous. But I'm going to enjoy it in this powder. Not too sure about the helicopter ride behind, but there you go. All of a sudden, all you can hear is this helicopter coming towards you, and it doesn't sound that loud until it gets to you. And the wind that this helicopter produces is unbelievable. You're standing there trying not to get blown away. You know, you've all got your avalanche bleepers on, your guides are with you, and you know, every group goes up one, you know, and waits at the top of the mountain for you.
And the helicopter ride itself was incredible. Felt like I was in Apocalypse Now.
Wow, yeah! That is cool! Yeah! Yeah! Oh! Check it out! That is so cool! Vietnam!
It's unbelievable. The view you get out of the helicopter and the way they hug the mountain. You think you're going to hit all the trees. You know, it's just unreal. I've never experienced anything like it before in my life.
It drops you off on the top of the mountain and you just think, wow, I'm up here and like I've got to get down. And when there's a load of you, you think, yeah, this is really good fun. And you think, yep, I'm going to go for it.
When you get above the clouds, you know, on top of the mountain, it's just like a different world. You know, you're up there above clouds, you're with people that you enjoy snowboarding with, you've got your guide, and the only way to go is down the mountain, and no one's been there before. So it's all fresh powder, and you've got so much width, you know, to ride on. You're not worried about knocking other skiers over. Everyone's looking out for everyone else, and away you go. And you just start sliding. It's brilliant.
when you're riding, no one else really matters. When you're riding with your mates and things like that, they're there, and you can shout to them and you can ride with them and things like that, and you know they're there. But at the same time, you're by yourself because all you can hear is like the board on the snow, and like the wind in your hair, so to speak. It's not quite like that, but it is there, and you just think this is just so good, and you just can't explain it to someone who hasn't done it. You can't get it across, but you just think, I want more of it, and I want more of it, and then you just keep wanting more of it, and like the faster you get, the faster you want to go, and so forth. And you just really does just get hold of you, grab you by the short and curlies and don't let you go. It's just like blinding.
As snowboarding has totally changed my life and the way I look at life. I know that sounds cliche, but since I started snowboarding, it's all I've wanted to do. I got a job in the snowboarding industry. It just is the biggest adrenaline rush you'll ever experience. Being in the mountains with the scenery, the whole idea of just being up there and doing what you want in the mountains, it's just can't be beaten. Nothing I've ever done has really come up to the same standard. I love it.
Good mates, good powder. There's nothing else like it. You're stoked, I tell you. You just, there's no other way of describing it. It's just the happiest feeling in the world.